As a manager, you should give your employees regular feedback. In this video, I will give you my most important tip on constructive feedback. Stay tuned. For the best leadership advice, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video. As a CEO of my own company, as well as a manager in an international group, I was able to gather some experience through feedback worldwide, in all kind of cultures, in all kind of company sizes. You see, over time, I've developed a sense for feedback. I learned how valuable constructive feedback is and how it helps others. But I have also noticed how devastating well-intentioned but incorrectly formulated feedback can be, both in terms of employee motivation and behavior. Everyone loves to be praised and to be confirmed. Who doesn't like to be praised? With criticism, on the other hand, it's different. If someone asks you, "Do you mind if I give you some feedback?" you will probably say, "No, of course not," and you ask for the feedback. But deep inside of you, it's hard for you to hear negative feedback. And let's face it, it will be negative feedback. If someone explicitly asks for permission to give you feedback, he doesn't just want to praise, he mostly wants to criticize. But criticism questions our self-esteem. It triggers our defense mechanisms because we believe our reputation is in danger. Actually, we want to be praised, but not judged. That's why when you give feedback, it's less important what you say than how you say it. My number one rule, or if you will, my number one tip for constructive feedback, feedback is a gift. Always view feedback as a gift, whether you give feedback or whether you take feedback. A gift usually has a nice packaging. This is no different with feedback. For example, it's the way you express criticism. Criticism should be clear but appreciative. If it's not, then there is a good chance that it will not be perceived as a gift. But especially for the feedback taker, this attitude is crucial to see feedback as a gift. Let me give you an example. Let's assume that an employee approaches his boss and tells him in private, "Sorry, boss, in the meeting right now, what you told the staff there, it was not so well received. I'm sorry to say." Now it's extremely important how does the boss react to such a feedback. The employee dared to give the higher ranking person, his boss, feedback on his behavior, on how it was perceived by the staff. Doing this requires courage. The question is, why did the employee do this? Well, he wants to signal to his boss that something has gone wrong. He suspects that his boss isn't aware of it. He isn't aware of this, and with the feedback, the employee wants to help his boss to assess the situation correctly. It's a gift to the boss. And now it depends on how the boss reacts. When the boss says, "Yes, I know what I said, but I did this because I wanted the staff to understand." Blah, blah, blah. If the boss defends himself directly after the feedback, then he is not doing the right thing. This is unfavorable. He doesn't really accept the gift. He takes it as an attack and defends himself. However, the employee only wanted to show the boss his point of view. "Here, dear boss, something went wrong. What you said was received in a way you may not wanted it to be received." That's all. It would be much more favorable if the boss would react with something like, "Thank you for the feedback. I'm glad you told me. I have to think about that." So he really accepts the feedback as a gift. Very important here. What do you do if someone gives you a gift? Exactly. You say, "Thank you." Of course, the boss can ask, thank you very much for your feedback. What exactly did I say in the meeting? What came out wrong? Then the employee can answer. Well, boss, you said we just skip lunch today. That wouldn't be a problem, but it was received quite badly that you didn't explain why we had to skip it. It's okay to ask such questions to really understand the feedback, but the boss should not evaluate and justify the employee's statement at that moment. He should accept it as it is meant, as a gift. He receives a foreign view on his behavior. That's a gift. Unfortunately, most people take a defensive stance when giving feedback. Even today, I still sometimes feel the same way, but it's unfavorable because it can lead to the fact that the employee decides the next time not to give feedback to the boss. Oh, I'd rather keep my mouth shut. The boss always knows everything better anyway. Before I get involved in discussions with him, I'd rather not say anything. That's surely better. What a pity. Whether you are the boss and get feedback or you are an employee and get feedback from your boss, always keep in mind, if you receive feedback, try to really understand it and take it as a gift. Even if the feedback is rough on you or doesn't come across very appreciative, and even if you don't agree with it at all. If I'm criticized and don't agree with the criticism, I try to listen carefully. I don't always succeed with it, but at least I try. The reason for that is the saying, a feedback often says more about the person giving the feedback than about the person being criticized. So if I listen well, I learn something about the other person's point of view. I try to understand him or her. And always keep in mind, if you do so, if I understand the other person, that doesn't mean that I agree. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't yet for new videos every single week. If you like this video, please let me know by liking it below. Subscribe and share it with your friends. And by the way, please leave a comment below if this video helped you. Thanks for watching, and I see you in the next video.